Yeah, I make notes on paper. So today I'm going to try to explain this mess to you because this is how to solve every problem that any person could ever have, or at least that's the idea. So just to explain, to get you kind of familiar, we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs over here. If anybody's familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, obviously. Then we have the levels of spiral dynamics going up this way. This is kind of the evolution of human psychology and culture. Alright? So every person goes through this spiral dynamic level as they, as they grow up, and humanity went through it as it evolved. So let's kind of go over it. First you have beige, which is very animalistic, stay alive, just get food, don't get eaten, easy peasy, right? So that obviously correlates to the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is the physiological needs of food, water, warmth, rest, etc. So if you have that need, which every person does, then the beige, level, the beige mindset, I'll call it, will help you out. You will be able to do things to solve this need because you're in the beige mindset to do the things that solve that need. Up next on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you have all of your safety and security. Now this is basically just your food, water, warmth, and rest, etc., but secured so that you have it guaranteed, right? So you have a house instead of a cave. That you have a farm instead of foraging, right? So it's something real. It's something that's actually there. Now to solve those problems, to solve an actual security need, you need either, you need one of a couple of different levels of spiral dynamics. The first one, right up from beige, is purple, which is your culture, your group of people, your group of cavemen who, pray to the gods and sacrifice somebody to make the weather better, whatever you need. But that's security. You have people protecting you, and you have food and water, warmth and rest, and you're all good, right? Everything's basically guaranteed for you in that situation, in a tribe. Purple's often called the tribes type of deal. Additionally, the next level up from purple is red, which is domination, willpower, self-centered, get everything that I need for me and don't give a crap about anybody else. Now, this also solves the security need if you can protect your stuff, but it's not exactly the same. It's not the same way as the purple would with a group of people, or indeed, in fact, the next level up, blue, after red goes to blue, which is a real society with real rules and real roles, an economy, a real thing, not just a tribe, but an economy, right? And so that also can work into your safety security needs if you're part of that community. But it kind of ties into the next level, as you can see here. So there's blue, and it ties into the belongingness and love part of the Maslow's hierarchy, right? And that's your actual relationships, real relationships with people, not just we're equals in the tribe, or he's the leader, or he's the shaman, or that guy's a bad guy and that guy's a good guy, but real intimate relationships where you get to know each other, things matter. And for that to even happen, you have to have a culture like blue has, with all the laws and the things that are expected of people, the different roles, because once you have that culture, then people can talk about it and bond over it. And then you actually have a real bunch of people, belongingness and love. Think about like an Amish place, a bunch of Amish people get together. They have lots of belongingness and love and everything because they're all helping each other out. They have their economy, but they're not like out for themselves. They're not like capitalists. I mean, maybe they are, but they're not intense or whatever like our society is right now. So if you have all of those if you have all of these needs done, belongingness, safety, and your physiological needs taken care of, then you can move up to the next need, which is esteem needs, or prestige and accomplishment. So the way that works is that's for your own personal self, the things that you do, the things that you feel proud of. Now, for you to even have any context of you doing something to feel proud of, you need a set of values already. So that's why orange always comes after blue. All these come after each other, obviously. But you need a blue society for orange to even pop up. If you have just a bunch of people out in the world doing whatever, then they have no need for any of this. If there's not a society in place, then there's no need to feel good about your accomplishments, right? So if you do have that, you're living in a society, you're the orange person who plays the game for self-interests, learning and solving problems within the society, and you follow the rules, but for your own self-interest. So then you get your esteem needs taken care of, right? Additionally, this is another double. The esteem needs can be taken care of by green, which is the next level up after orange. Green is the Save the Dolphins, world peace, end world hunger, all the hippies, all is one, that whole culture, I should say, that whole feeling of everybody is on the same page. Every human being is part of the same group now. Like my tribe from purple turned into a society in blue and turned into an entire worldwide connection or a species connection in green. And if you want to flip it on its side, since we're here, the beige is about the self-survival, the red is about the self-survival, and the orange is about the self-survival, whereas the purple, blue, and green are about other people. It flips back and forth. How interesting. Now, after the green and the orange helped out the esteem needs, next you have the self-actualization needs. So you feel good about yourself from your esteem, you have a place where you belong, you're secure, and you're not hungry. All of that's good. So everything is set up for you. Now you need to self-actualize. Now it's your job. Everything else is done. Everything's happy, but now you have to self-actualize and actually figure out who you are and what you want to do. You have to live to your potential. You have to do the best thing that you can do. So to do that, to self-actualize, you can optimize all of these things and optimize all of your responses over here, which is a plus. And once you've done that enough, you get to see the next level of spiral dynamics after green, which is yellow. Now after green, it flips back to self, like I said before. Yellow is the understanding that change is natural, you kind of flow with life, you live fully and responsibly, you understand the consequences of your actions, and you're still willing to make choices for your life. And actually yellow is the first level, the mindset of spiral dynamics, that it can actually see and notice and recognize the other levels. So if you're somebody who has a yellow mindset and you see somebody with a green, an orange, or a blue mindset, you'll be able to understand that. You'll be able to notice the different type of mindset they're in, and you'll be able to notice that yours is kind of post-level, as it were. It's in tier 2 of spiral dynamics. Up to green is tier 1, and then once you get into level yellow, it shifts over to tier 2. And it kind of makes sense because these 4 needs, the first 4 needs, are pretty basic, that go along with your basic things in the world. And then self-actualization kind of flips over too into a new understanding, a recontextualization of everything that has happened before. So that's where yellow is. It's a very confident way of living where you have all of your needs worked out. You are self-actualizing by accomplishing your goals and doing all the stuff that you need to do. Right? Perfect. So that's awesome. Next, though, just so we have it all here, is self-transcendence and level turquoise in the hierarchy and spiral, respectively. Now, level turquoise and self-transcendence is really essentially non-duality, enlightenment, awakening, true all is one, consciousness, blah, blah. That whole mess that nobody can ever talk about because talking doesn't work. It's because it's all the way up here in turquoise, in self-transcendence. This is the thing that you're trying to talk about, and you're trying to explain it to people down here. So it doesn't work. You have to work from the bottom to the top, from the needs to the to the levels, and work your way up there. You can't start working on your esteem needs if you don't have a place to live. You have to work from the bottom up, and same with the levels of spiral dynamics. The different mindsets, you have to go from the bottom to the top. Whew. So, wherever you are on this whole mess, if a need presents itself on this side, a need shows up in your life somewhere. Somebody broke up with you, you're hungry, you're just not satisfied. That matches up over here with these levels, as you can see, to the different levels of the spiral dynamics that work with those needs. The different types of strategies, the different types of mindsets that you can look at to try to determine what you want to do, what strategies you want to take to actually solve those needs. So you can go over here and look at the spiral dynamics levels, match them up with whatever need that you have, and you can see what it is that you actually need to work on in order to fix that need. So this tells you what you need to do no matter what your problem is. You still have to do the work, of course, but this answers the question. That's all I wanted. Hope you enjoyed.